USAC Triple Crown champion, long-time veteran in NASCAR now, and also, of course, Phoenix, Arizona's own J.J. Yeley. You've been at this for a long time now. You've had a pretty long career in NASCAR, but of course, heck, you were dirt racing this weekend as well up at Canyon Speedway Park. You have all that dirt experience. You got a wife and a daughter at home. Why keep coming back to NASCAR?
I mean, because I'm a racer. I mean, I love racing. I've had people ask me earlier in my career, you know, what my aspirations were once I stopped racing, and I don't know. I mean, I'm still not at that point where I'm worried or even thought about giving up what I love, which is racing. So, you know, this is my 16th season in NASCAR, full-time in the Cup Series for Rick Ware Racing. I've been moonlighting a little here and there in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, and it's still fun. So, I mean, I guess as long as it's fun and I can get into a car and be competitive, or take a car and make that car more competitive, it is kind of like the value I get out of it sometimes. Like I said, being in NASCAR for 16 years, I've got a lot of experience, so I guess I'm at the point now where I get to lend that experience to try to make programs stronger and help drivers that just are looking for that leg up.
At the end of last year, you started driving for Rick Ware Racing, driving here as well. And then this year going full-time for the first time for you in a long time in any series. How did that deal come together?
He wanted to make his program more competitive. You know, he had some drivers that were limited experience, were bringing sponsorship, and was really looking to elevate his program. And you know, now he's in the process of making some huge announcements with the team. We have 2 charters. We have Ford support. You know, the program has elevated greatly from last year to even this year. So, helping him with his dream of being a Cup owner. I mean, he's a very intelligent man. He's always been a racer. You know, again, that's like what I've always kind of dreamed of in my NASCAR career, is being in that opportunity where you're working with a guy that has cut his teeth in racing just like I have. I mean, you know, you talk about going to Canyon racing a sprint car. I mean, that was where I ran my very first laps in a midget with the age of 13. So it's cool to kind of go back to your roots and have fun. I mean, obviously I know I've been doing it for a long time, but that's why, you know, guys like Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell still go race sprint cars when they can, because I mean, it's always going to be kind of your first love and you're going to enjoy it. It's where, more or less, where some of the fun is at.
Well, let's talk about some of those teammates that you have. You are the veteran. You're kind of the teacher over at Rick Ware Racing. You got Joey Gase racing there and also Garrett Smithley. What's it like in the garage, not only just having teammates, but being the veteran over there as well?
We've got some more technology to work with now at Rick Ware Racing. Because of that, you know, there's times where I can go make laps, and because of running back and forth between the Xfinity Series Cup side, I don't always have like the free time to sit down and kind of debrief with them. You know, obviously we'll have kind of a debriefing meeting on Saturday after qualifying, but with SMT, you know, they can go through and see why I'm a half a second lap faster. They can see my line, they can see my brake and throttle traces, and be like, oh, okay, now I know what I need to do. And having that makes a huge difference for them, because now they can, you know, they know what they can do, and because we're in similar equipment, it's easier to find those speed differences. Whenever you're trying to compare to, you know, Kyle Busch and the differences in cars and technology, it doesn't always translate. So because we're in the same kind of race car, same equipment, the same team out of the same stable, it makes it easier for them to try to figure out what they can do as a driver to make the race cars faster.
Let's talk a little bit about this place, your home track of Phoenix Raceway. Of course, now all the beautiful renovations, but I think probably your favorite part is when they say,
from Phoenix, Arizona, J.J. Yeley.
What's it like coming home and racing at home when you get that opportunity every year?
I love it. I mean, it's hard to explain to people the differences in Phoenix Raceway. You know, I can remember as a kid coming here, there used to be desert, a cactus over here off of turn 2 that I started my racing career racing a bicycle around there, you know, when I was 8 or 9 years old. But you know, my dad used to bring me out here for the Copper World Classic, and you'd watch the midgets, the Champ Cars, the Southwest Tour, the Modifieds. It was just the staple events, and you know, still being able to come back here and seeing the amount of money and the beautification of this racetrack, knowing that our championship is going to end here in Phoenix, is very, very cool. And having the support of the people of Phoenix, I know that it's a big city. The racing side of it can sometimes get lost versus some of the other racing cities. Like obviously go to like a place like Daytona and Indianapolis. But the fact that, you know, the last 3 or 4 years this has been a sellout here, it's awesome. So, you know, it's hard to beat the weather. I know the traffic's a little bit crazy from when I used to live here, but you know, when you wake up in the morning and it's, you know, crystal clear and 65, 70 degrees, it's hard to beat that.
So looking forward the rest of this year and also anywhere deeper in the future, what does the future look like for you?
I mean, sometimes that's hard to tell in the sport of NASCAR, but right now the plan is to continue on working with Rick Ware Racing. My contract with him is a one-year deal, but obviously we're already working towards next year. 2020 is going to be big for our sport with the differences in the new car. Hopefully we'll continue to gain momentum from good runs, finding sponsorship. This weekend we've got Window World of Phoenix on the car. Just being able to pick up those kind of opportunities is huge for this team. So if we can continue to do that, make the team stronger, maybe we can start setting our sights on really coming out 2021 when NASCAR resets the slate with new cars and see how we can perform.
Well, appreciate the time, JJ. Welcome home. Number 52, Rick Ware Racing. You see him all year long in the NASCAR Cup Series.